Welcome to the 100-mile Nissan GT-R Nismo review. It's 100 miles for me, but realistically this vehicle has 54,000 miles on it. But it's impressive nonetheless. I'll let you guys go ahead. If you haven't seen the intro to the GT-R review, I do go into some of the details on the decision to buy it, as well as some of the additional maintenance that was kind of performed on it previously. But this realistically is just a video on how does the car feel so far after owning it 100 miles, and did I make the right choice in buying it? I'm not even going to make you guys wait that long for it. Yes, I made the absolute right choice in buying this car. So what makes it so special? What's so interesting about this GT-R? Well, why is it that the first 100 miles I'm already completely loved the car, and I can't believe that I haven't bought it sooner? It's everything about it. One of the things that I actually really enjoy is when manufacturers keep the same type of vehicle and just improve upon it. So for example, your Porsche 911s, even the Subaru STI, for example, they kept that pretty much same engine for the whole time. And yeah, even though the cars, sometimes, especially the STI, they're not great, there's heritage behind it. And that's really what kind of drives me to pick a specific vehicle like this. Now, honestly, I'm not even going to go into the heritage of the GT-R. I'm sure everybody kind of understands every single thing from the first one that came out to the R32 and how it was named Godzilla and how it's the Japanese, giant killer. No, this is purely driving experience. So the first thing that I noticed is the car is super stiff, even in just regular suspension mode. Now, if you do put it in comfort mode, it does have a bit more kind of wobble to it. To be honest, it's not bad. It does give you a little bit more of additional kind of comfort. But putting it in race mode on the other side, and this sucker is super stiff, and that is exactly how I prefer it. Right now, I'm driving completely in just a normal mode, just a nice cruising type of speed. Car drives remarkably well. You would hardly believe that you're in a GT-R. Now, the one thing that I do like is you can absolutely hear the turbos working. You can hear the engine working. The transmission shifts, of course, you can feel them a little bit. This isn't a car that was created for luxury. This was purpose-built so that you can have fun in it. The inside, compared to like a normal GT-R, everything's covered in suede. It just gives it that much kind of nicer feeling, in my opinion. I do like that the interior has shifted to this newer, more modern kind of look to it, but at the same time has still kind of kept with some of the traditional stuff. So still the same type of gauges, which I have them up right now and I'm just enjoying watching them. One of the first things that my wife asked was, oh, you don't have CarPlay in here or Android Auto or anything. To be honest, I didn't want it. I don't care about Waze. I'll have a phone mount, which I do here on my left side. I really want to know everything that's going on with the car, and these gauges are exactly what I needed. So looking at them even right now, I see my coolant temperature, my engine oil temperature, my engine oil pressure, boost gauge, transmission oil temperature, and transmission oil pressure. What more do you want? And honestly, that's just one of 5 screens. Well, actually one of 6 screens. The other one is purely if you just want to check out and see how fast the car goes. Next thing that I honestly really like, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, but the transmission is freaking amazing. So one of my biggest complaints about automatic transmissions is that they just feel too luxurious. I don't know what it is. And so with a manual transmission, you get to control the car, you get to feel everything. Putting this thing into, quote unquote manual mode, you get that same exact feeling. Even in the automatic portion, as you're driving the car, you feel everything. You feel the transmission. And Nissan did a hell of a job with that. It definitely feels like you're driving a race car. I don't know how else to describe it. As I said, kind of in the regular driving, you're just cruising, car drives nice. But as soon as you step on it a little bit, you instantly feel that acceleration, and the car just takes off. And so not only do you hear the engine and the turbos spool it up, but like I said, you feel the transmission. Then there's the speed of this car. So my brother, he has a Tesla Model X Plaid, And we got into that car, and he launched it a few times. And in all honesty, I told him, and I said, this should be illegal to own. I mean, it was that fast, and especially for an SUV. He wanted to get a Lamborghini, and I told him, you know what? Are you sure you want to do this? Because after that Model X, I don't think there's anything fast enough or entertaining enough. So I think you should just honestly stick to that, because he's a little obsessed with kind of the speed of the car. And so now I'll tell you guys a story that I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not particularly happy about it myself, but it is what it is, especially considering just how immature I was during that whole time. So I get in the car by myself this time, and I said, you know what, I want to give it a proper run. Let me see what this guy can do. And so I let it warm up, went for the drive, put the windows down. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Cowbell Warrior, but that song was just on full blast, and I was just driving kind of recklessly, to be honest. So I pull up to this red light, guy's next to me, his windows are down as well. He rolls the car back, like, GT-R? I'm like, yeah, GT-R. And we just take off, and I mean, he punched it, and so did I. It literally looked like the guy just stood still. I mean, the only way that I can explain it is, it really feels like somebody just took a slingshot and just launched you out of a slingshot. So I get to the next light. Finally, everybody kind of catches up, and I'm doing a U-turn to go back home. I said I want to give it a proper send this time, and I did. And that thing hooked it so incredibly precisely. And telling the story to my brother, I said, so I think I found a car that if it's not as fast as your Model X Plaid, it's faster. And so his response, of course, was, only one way to find out. Let's line them up. We didn't do it, of course, but maybe we should. If you guys watched the Gran Turismo movie, one thing that I thought was kind of exaggerated was when they're racing and they, the first time really around the track, and they're punching it, and I mean, their heads are in the seat and they're swirling around, and I was like, okay, a little over exaggerated, but whatever, good movie overall. Well, I gotta tell you, punching it that hard actually slammed my head back into the seat. I gotta apologize to Gran Turismo over there. They definitely did their research. From the outside, the car is absolutely perfect in my opinion. It got just the right amount of carbon fiber. Front bumper is almost entirely, carbon fiber. The side skirts are carbon fiber. The wing and actually inside of the trunk as well, all carbon fiber. They got the Ray's engineering wheels on there, the forged wheels. Brakes look perfect on it. I told my wife, I said, this is the first time where I actually am not gonna do anything to this car. I almost feel like I need to change my channel name from Car Mod Guy to Car Stock Guy. But luckily I have 4 other cars that I do want to continue modifying, so at least there's that. Now the one issue that I do have is that I honestly do want to modify a GT-R, so there will probably be another GT-R in my life at the same time as this one, where we go through and we actually start the modification process, just not the Nismo edition. That's pretty much it. I mean, that's it for the 100-mile review. Like I said, I'll keep you guys up to date pretty regularly on this car, and if anything happens, as well as all the, like I said, general kind of maintenance stuff, we're going to record all of that.